Hello and welcome to an introduction to programming using Visual Basic exercises for beginners. In this exercise we are going to create a rule of 72 calculator. This rule is used to approximate the time required for prices to double due to inflation. If the inflation rate is R%, then the rule of 72 estimates that the prices will double in 72 divided by R years. So for instance, at an inflation of 6%, prices double in about 72 divided by 6, or 12 years. Write a program to test the accuracy of this rule. For each interest rate from 1 to 20%, the program should display the rounded value of 72 divided by R and the actual number of years required for prices to double at an R% inflation rate. We are going to assume that the prices increase at the end of each year. So here's the form, very simple, one button, one list box. There is no input from the user. We'll click the button and the calculations will be performed in the button click event. So I'm in Visual Studio 2015. Let's start coding. As usually, I'll double click the button and go to the sub procedure for the button click event. So the first thing, as usual, we will declare a few variables. We are declaring variables for years because that's the result of our calculations, and also double of amount. Now the exercise asks to calculate the years of the rule 72 for percentage of interest rate between 1 and 20. So we are going to loop from 1 to 20, and I'm going to use the for loop, and basically we are going to calculate through the interest rate. And within the loop, I'm going to set the years to 0 as an initial value, and I'm going to set the amount to 100. We are going to double it in the next loop, and if I start from 100, we are going to basically double it to 200. Or you could just do 10 to 20 or 1 to 2, whatever would work for you. But I'm going with 100, which represents the 100% of the current price. That is going to be doubled, in other words 200%, and how long it's gonna take for the price to double is the result of the calculation. That's the years that we are calculating. So now, after I set my amount and years, I can do a while loop until the amount is less than 200. So again, from 100% to 200%, or doubling it. And within this loop, I'm going to increase the years by 1, because each iteration represents 1 year, and I'm going to calculate the actual amount. And the formula for that is amount equals 1 plus the interest rate that we are using in our for loop divided by 100 and multiplied by the amount. So with each iteration, the amount changes and is being reassigned to the amount variable, and we'll do that until the amount is less than 200. We started from 100, keep increasing it until it's less than 200. Once it's over 200, we'll exit the while loop. We are still within the for loop because we have 20 iterations of that from 1% to 20. But after the while loop is calculated, we can now display the results. We display the interest rate that we are currently calculating, which is the variable int rate in our for loop. And we will display the rule of 72 doubling time. And we will also display the actual doubling time. That's what the exercise wants us to do. So I'm going to use the output.items.add for our list box. And the first thing, I'm just going to display the interest rate I'm currently calculating, and I will add the actual interest rate. However, the interest rate needs to be divided by 100 because we are going to convert it to percentages. And we'll convert it with toString as a percent, and we can do it with 0 decimal places. So it will be 1%, 2%, and so forth. The next thing we are going to add is the rule of 72. So this is the approximation of the doubling times. Not the actual one that's going to be displayed next, but the approximation. So I'm going to round it up, and I'm going to use the math.round, and we are rounding the 72 divided by the R, the interest rate. That's from the exercise itself. Let me just show you. This is the rule of 72 divided by R, which is the interest rate, and it will give us the approximation of years for doubling the prices. And the last thing, I'm going to display the actual doubling time. So the first one was rounded using this rule of 72 divided by interest rate. And this one will simply going to append the years that we are calculating. These are the actual years that it will take. And at the end, we can just display an empty line. And after it hits the next, it goes to the next percentage rate. So it will display the interest rate of 1, then interest rate of 2, 3, and all the way to 20. And for each of them, it will calculate within the do while loop what is the actual years and what is the amount that is doubles. The double of the amount is basically a flag for the condition within our do while loop. Once it hits the 200, we'll exit the loop and display the information for that particular percentage rate and move to the next one. So let's run it. And when I click the evaluate rule, you can see that there's my interest rate 1%, and the rule of 72 says 72 years, and then it would be actual doubling time is 70 years, so it's 2 years off. Remember, the rule of 72 is approximation. 2% of 72 rule is 36 years. Actual doubling time again is 36, so that's actually exact. And we can scroll all the way down to 20, interest rate of 20%. The rule of 72 says it would double the prices in 4 years, and the actual doubling time is 4 years as well. So the rule of 72 actually is very close to the actual years that it would take. So this is working correctly. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next video.